Yo,
Yo.
guys, how we doing? We up to our final week of fantasy football, week 13, and some people shaking their head already because they kind of out of
Coming to an
contention.
end.
Damn.
But
Poor E.
let's get into this.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
E. So, like Chris said, poor E. Damn, he left it everything.
Damn, he just left. He said, you know what? It was too much. I got a whole new team, you know what I'm saying? Like he just, I would feel the same way, honestly. I would. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
Here
do
he
you
is.
want to go ahead and just start talking about E?
Oh yeah, let's
Or
talk about E. Yo, that dude sucks at fantasy.
yo,
Oh
he should
my
just give it
god.
up. He should just give it up. Oh
Oh,
shit, there he is, my bad.
yo, good Ethan.
What's going on? Are you talking smack while I'm not here?
What? Yo, who?
Nah, we would
That's that
never.
weird.
I
I
don't
heard a
know.
lot of Ethan talk.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Just because I'm last, don't mean anything.
Nah, honestly, bro, like your team was actually pretty good, bro. It was just them injuries for you all season. Like you lost
Yeah,
almost every running back that wasn't named Dalvin Cook.
Nixon's IR and all my wide receivers did horrible.
yeah. I mean, honestly, coming into this week, like, if you want to give a little screenshot of Ethan's lineup without the numbers, like right here, I was scared of that lineup, not gonna lie to you. Like, I came in to the week and I was like, yo, like, this might be the L. This might be the L I take. And just none of his guys went off. So I was like, all right, I won. And you ended up scoring how many points? Like 50 something?
Yeah, it was horrible.
50
Yeah.
Total was like 50, 60 something.
Yeah. And I scored like whatever the regular 120 that people score. So I didn't even do anything spectacular. I just scored whatever the normal is. So I think it was just bad luck that week, dog.
It
It
was
was
bad luck all
really
year.
horrible.
Yeah, bad luck all year, dog. Because that should have been it. Being me, and then if you would have beat somebody this week, you probably would have been in the playoffs.
I think got a chance if I win this week, but that's a rare chance.
It's a lot of circumstances. So
Yeah,
you would have to win, and whoever you're playing, you would have to whoop up on them. Like I'm talking like 150 to 170 points.
Yeah,
The people ahead of you are ahead by like 100 points right now. So they'd have to get like 50 points or 60, 70, some low number. You basically have to double their total to jump in front of them.
yeah,
exactly. So hard chance to get in, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
yeah. Anybody else drop down to where you guys like are even close or not?
Jason and Ethan are one game out. So if Jay wins this week and somebody miraculously loses, Jay's ahead of Matt in scoring. And he's only
That's what I'm saying. Like, does
3 points behind
somebody else drop down like close to them? Oh, Kenny and
Matt.
Matt. Yeah, they're both
So,
kind of.
and Kenny is like Ethan's 100 points behind Matt, and he's like 150 points behind Kenny.
Damn. Yo, Kenny took a nosedive, bro.
Hard. 5 straight
Hard.
losses.
Yo, I play him this week, and he's projected to beat me.
He was projected to
So
beat me last week. I mean, I'm not even going to talk shit because what ultimately gave me the W was, wow, DK Metcalf dropping that touchdown in the corner from Russell Wilson. That would have gave him 10 easy points. He wins right then and there.
yeah.
Instead, he drops
So
the pass, and I win by 7.
damn, that is luck right
Oh,
there. Like
yeah, I was
straight
about
up,
to say,
like
well, look,
yeah. So
that's some luck.
Yo,
all
and then
right.
I had that whole Carlos Hyde thing with Chris Carson, where Carlos Hyde was getting more touches than Chris Carson. I'm like, yo, this is gonna end bad. Yo, I'm gonna lose this week. Then I saw that drop, and I was like, all right, we still got a chance out here. And then they just took a pretty good lead on the Eagles, and I was like, all right, yo, I'll live with it.
Facts.
But hopefully Ethan can miraculously make some crazy little last minute comeback.
Somewhere. How do you
Chris
guys
is
feel like going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah.
say Chris is coming at first. So I mean, Chris, how you feeling being in first place right now?
Actually, I'm not that after Montgomery going off. I mean, he just solidifies my like. I was worried about my running back too, And if he can just get some production like he did the last week, because last week it was more kind of luck at the end. But even prior to him getting that touchdown, he still had like 11, 12 points, which is what I was expecting of him. But he ended up scoring at the end when they were down. So, I mean, I don't mind it. T. Higgins was doing his thing. I like Evan Ingram because Evan Ingram's like the only, how can you say, reliable receiver that target that the Giants have. Because what's his name? Shepard's always hurt. Slayton catches the ball when he feels like it. So I feel good.
0 receptions last week.
Yeah, so I feel good. I feel good about my team. I don't mind it.
Word. I mean,
especially now if I'm playing Matt, like if I'm gonna play Matt or Jason at the 8 spot, like I feel really comfortable. So I was more worried, honestly, about Dan's team, which ended up moving up, which was good, and I was worried kind of about Ethan's team. So as long as those two are out of the way, as long as you two are out of the way, I think I should be okay. I should make it to the second round.
How you feel about Kenny's team, though? Maybe Kenny makes that miraculous little bounce back first week of the playoffs.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, he did lose. He lost James Conner to COVID for God knows how long now.
And Snell, the way Snell was running, I don't know, dog. Might be looking slow. Which I mean,
Snell, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way he was running last night, and then on top of the fact that Connor was already kind of shaky, I mean that kind of solidifies his spot. So,
I agree.
Word.
But before we move on, though, how do you guys feel about that game?
It was whatever. I mean, we all knew what the outcome was going to be going in, and Juju had that nice little touchdown run. But
yeah, I mean, Tomlin was mad though. On I think he was on First Take this morning, or not First Take, but something on ESPN. I was just hearing, and he was saying that how his team pretty much played like complete garbage. They didn't play, up to par, pretty much. Do you guys agree with that?
I've been trying to say this for the longest to y'all. Let's
they haven't played like that though. They haven't played
not
that
bad. But imagine before then that I'm already saying let's pump the brakes. You're playing bad teams, and then you're playing a bunch of like second, third stringers out here, and now you're looking a little crazy. Like, not a good sign coming into playoffs.
I was just gonna say that they could have passed that off in the beginning of the year, not now. Now is when you need to be solidified. You need to be doing your thing. So.
And it's funny because watching that game a little bit, I was like, wow. Thank God Juju Smith-Schuster is the only person that is really fantasy relevant because this game there's no fantasy relevance whatsoever on either side.
Bro, and I have Juju on my other team, and I sat him down. I was like, the way he's been playing, I was like, he's in the bench, bro. And I still won, but.
Good.
Were you saying anything?
Having that one touchdown.
Yeah. So.
Yo, I mean, it's been a weird season, bro. Like it's week 13. Let's get into this a little bit. Like, how y'all feel about overall fantasy season? Like, what's something you guys are gonna take definitely going into next year? Like, all right, this is something I need to keep in mind next season.
I'll let you go first.
I bet. Going through all the leagues in total, a lot of injuries. Saquon out the first week. CMC, I think, got hurt the second week. That's their first 2 picks right there. So going through all the players, Michael Thomas wasn't that good this year. It was just so weird seeing the top players not doing as well. Zeke wasn't that good. It was a lot to take in consideration after the year ended.
Definitely, and I mean honestly, I'm in first place, and this fantasy football year sucked. I mean, it was just a lot of I felt like this. If I learned anything from this season, it would had to be waiver wires and how priority a waiver wire is on somebody's league, and how looking at that is all right. What's your next year when I enter a fantasy league? I'm gonna ask, what's your waiver wire pickup drop how can you say what's the settings on that protocol? What's the protocol on that?
Next year we definitely switching that whole waiver priority thing.
Yeah, next year is definitely gonna be random because this year, I mean, that it hurt me since I was in first, at the later of the season, but definitely we got to switch that up.
Yeah, because it wasn't like the whole idea of it sounded dope in the beginning until I bounced up to like fourth or third, and then I was like,
and you're not getting anybody.
I'm not getting nobody. Like, what am I supposed to do right now?
Yeah, but low key, I mean, it makes it. How can you say competitive?
Nah, yeah, definitely. Because normally what I do, and I'm gonna say it straight up, because Ethan's already witnessed this. I get like the 10th pick, and my teams have always been like good in the beginning of the year, unless there's an injury. So I hoard the hell out of the waiver pick. So I'll have the number one waiver priority, and I'll be like in top 3, like standing wise. And
oh wow,
people be getting like tight about that. They're like, "Yo, how the hell does Dan have the first waiver right now?" And Ethan's like, "Cause he holds it the whole time, because he doesn't need anything."
Yeah,
that's true.
So I don't know. We're gonna have to look heavy into that if there's any other settings on the NFL one, but definitely not doing by standing ever again.
There we go. Now we know for next year at least.
Facts. How you felt about scoring, like overall, like your team scoring every week, like week by week, like?
I felt very low, but that's just mine.
I thought it was very low as well, but I feel like that kind of goes back into the settings. They're generalized settings. I didn't play with any of the settings in the beginning of the season, but I feel like next season I want to do something with the settings. Like I know some leagues do like the quarterback, wide receiver, like you get an extra point for every time they score together. Like if he throws it to him, you get an extra point. And then there's other like little weird settings. Like if you have the same kicker, you get an extra like half a point. Like as the guy that's your quarterback, like shit like that. Like I know there's little stupid settings like that you could turn on, which I feel like would be cool, and it would make like the drafting process a little bit more interesting. Versus, all right, I'm just gonna go with whoever the fuck is on the board, and whoever's the best, I'm gonna go with them. So,
Word. Ethan, since you're on the outside looking in, who's your favorite team right now out of the top 8 teams? Take it all. Because me and Chris gonna be mad biased. So I want your opinion.
Not even mine. I'm not biased. I know who my favorite team is, and I'm kind of scared of them. But go ahead.
There's a couple that come to mind. Let's go first with Chris's team, because that Adams and AJ combination is dangerous. That's an easy 20-plus points, easily. But going to certain teams, Kenny, I think he has Darren Waller.
Yeah.
I love how his team is constructed in every single position. He has Wilson at the QB, Waller at the tight end.
He got Metcalf.
Good running backs, Metcalf.
Michael Thomas.
His team is solid as like everything overall. Because people sleep on having good tight ends. You with Kelsey, of course, but thing that really messed you up is Julio. Because Julio's like every week is like you don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know who has Mahomes and Hill.
That's Coase. Yeah, that's Coase's team.
That team is insane.
He got Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Mahomes, Hill, Mostert, and Henderson. I mean, that's kind of iffy, but if you're getting
running backs,
if you're getting 40 points at a Tyreek Hill or 40 points at a Justin Jefferson, I don't really think it really matters.
I think anything else matters at that point.
Exactly.
All right, word. Chris, who you being on the top of the league right now, who's like the one team you're like, damn, if I gotta face this team, I think I'm getting bounced?
John.
Oh, I forgot about John.
John's team, dog. Like honestly, his team scares me the most because everybody else is kind of have like sporadic kind of, I guess you could say, wins, but like I feel like John, the later the season, like Herbert's been really good. Now he has Dalvin Cook. He's got Robinson, he's pretty good. I mean, he was my running back. He's really good. He's got Woods now. He's got Calvin Ridley. And I mean, even going down to the later of his, how can you say, like lineup, he's got Reed at tight end, which could be a lot of upside. And I mean, his bench is kind of whatever. He has David Johnson on the bench, and let's see, that's really it. And CMC, whenever CMC comes back. So, and he's got Andrews. on COVID reserve. So I mean, his team is kind of scary come playoff time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that CMC and Cook.
Yeah,
Oh.
CMC and Cook. That's gonna be.
Yeah, talking about the playoffs before he plays.
Yeah, he may be really dangerous in the playoffs. So
You know who's my sleeper? Like my sleeper team. Like nobody really counts this, but like you gotta really be careful with this team. Luke's team, cause Luke got Derrick Henry and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So
yeah,
unless and he got Nick Chubb. My fault. I forgot to throw that in there too.
yeah.
So unless Edwards-Helaire is like being on the backseat of Patrick Mahomes' arm, yo, if those three could kick up at the same time, it's a wrap. And he
That's a
got
fact.
Juju on the bench. He got A.J. Brown, who's kind of iffy, but still pretty serviceable, and Tyler Boyd. So,
The only thing I don't like about the team, he has too many tight end players. Like, if we didn't have Ryan Tannehill,
yeah.
I would understand. But you got all three, like, tight ends. But they have to do it either amazing or just a
Yeah,
so-so
and
game.
that's
and
been
that's
the
it.
thing with his team, too, on some of his losses. Like, I've seen that it's been like A.J. Brown will perform and Ryan Tannehill won't perform, but then Derrick Henry performs, but it won't, like, produce enough points between the three.
Exactly.
Word. Yo, yeah, this season, even this week, I'm still like, dang, I really got to worry about this week because everything's still wild close for no reason. Like, even Eddie's team, like, this has been a crazy. I'm looking at every team right now. I'm like, yo, this is a crazy season. Like, especially with all the injuries, COVID, and just unpredictability. Next season draft about to be crazy.
It is. It is. Especially
I'm
now with
excited.
like things like even Will Fuller like coming into the season, being suspended, things like that. Like next season's gonna be a little crazy.
Yo, Ethan, shout out to you for taking Will Fuller off my hands before that suspension.
And he
Who
sat
would've
him on the
known,
bench.
like,
That would have helped you out this week, dog.
and then, like, there's just so much I didn't know. Who would have thought the Washington football team would put up 41 points and Antonio Gibson would have 3 touchdowns? Like,
Yeah,
it was a mess this week.
nobody would have thought that.
It's funny too because I drafted Will Fuller with the intention of trading him down the line, and thank God something told me, yo, just trade Will Fuller, you'll be all right. And I'm like, yeah, let me do it. I would have been so heated right now if Julio Jones was hurt and Will Fuller was suspended.
Yep.
And Chris
So-
Carson is ticking up for me. So
Lucky you. Going to overall, just in the whole draft, who's the worst disappointment to you? Like, value-wise.
value
In general. Like, all the players.
I probably gotta say Zeke Elliott. Even though with his situation, it was kind of like, can you blame the dude that don't really got a real starting quarterback anymore? Andy Dalton, let's be honest, Ethan, you're a Bengals fan. You know he's not a starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
That hurt Eddie. If Eddie would have taken like Alvin Kamara with the number 3 pick, he would have been set right now.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Chris?
I'm going CMC, Doug. He was gonna be like, how can you say? He was gonna be the player to have this year, and it was just that injury really carried through, lingered throughout the season, and now when he came back, he got hurt again. Like, just so much hope and then so much letdown. Like, that's really what kills CMC.
For your first pick at that.
And
Yeah,
that too,
for-
like to be like number 1 pick, like in our draft, like
That's happened how many times in the last few years though? Now, like,
David Johnson, that's
David
probably
Johnson.
one of the worst ones
you
I've
remember?
ever
I was at
seen.
Champs when that happened. Yo, I did the Champs League. I get the number 1 pick. I'm like, yo, say less. I'm gonna take David Johnson. Breaks his arm. I'm like, yo, of course. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like betting.
and he came back and never was the same, dog.
Yeah.
Remember he was with the Cardinals, just going off, bro. I had him as a flex that year, bro. Like just off of whatever, like picking people up just to pick them up, and damn.
What about you, Ethan? Biggest disappointment of the draft?
Going through our draft, Lamar was picked way too early. That man is not even a QB 10 at this point. He was such a disappointment being up there with Mahomes, and he got picked like right after Mahomes. So
Yeah,
that correlation, how bad
Yeah.
he was doing this year.
Coast did it, I think, in the third or fourth round because he got or second round.
No, it was first or second. We can pick
Second.
up early.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Coast did Tyreek Hill before I did. I did Julio Jones. Chris did Godwin, and he had the back-to-back. Then I think Coast took Mahomes afterwards.
Yeah.
And Mahomes
Yeah.
actually paid off for him, thank God. But Lamar Jackson this year.
Nah. You can't, like, back to it's like basic fantasy rules, dog. Like, you can't go with a quarterback anything earlier than like the 5th round, dog. Like, for what?
Yep. Exactly.
Look at John. He picked up Justin Herbert in the middle of the year. That's probably going to be his best pickup. Like, you could pick up a quarterback and they're going to put up 20 points, usually.
Exactly.
The only people I would ever reach for, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, arguable Kyler Murray now, depending if he can be consistent, which even then, after this season, you can't go next year and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to draft Kyler Murray in the third round. Like, that's not going to work out.
Nah.
All right, who's somebody next season that you guys are going to look at and be like, yo, if I could draft him high, I'm going to do it, and I don't care. But Ethan,
Keenan Allen.
yeah. Ethan, you started
Keenan.
off. Keenan Allen?
I said Keenan Allen. Sorry.
Nah, you good. Because you had Keenan Allen and you shook
I
him up
had,
with Kyler
bro,
Murray.
and he's been going off.
Now that connection with Herbert and the Chargers is so nasty. So nasty. And you know what's crazy? I would say Eckler too. Because Eckler's going to have a hell of a season for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say two people, Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins. Because them two were, like, I think, third round. But realistically, you take
Definitely had to be like second at least.
Nah, I don't think it was second. Or if it was like by really towards the end of the second round. So it's like, looking at those two, now I'm like, damn, yo, like, think about it. I could have drafted D-Hop and I could have had Stephon Diggs and I would have been straight this year instead of having Julio Jones. Like, oh,
I'm
God.
going to add one more, though. I'm going to add DK Metcalf. That man was drafted late.
Yeah.
It's because he's still young. Like, you didn't know. It was raw. Like, you weren't sure what was going to happen going in.
That's
Easy.
true. So, but now you know for next year. So,
Let me leave it at this for you guys. What's one position that you guys are going to go into next year saying, yo, I need to do better at drafting this?
Can
Ethan,
you
go
say
ahead.
tight end? Definitely tight end.
I'm going running back, dog. I bet my whole bench next year is going to be 5 running backs, like 1 wide receiver.
You did good drafting at running back, though, this year. You just ended
I
up
did.
trading
I
some of
just traded him away like an idiot. Gosh.
That
I
James
know.
Robinson pickup, man.
Yeah, man. That hurt me.
Don't feel bad. Most of my running backs is like in both my leagues have been just injuries or just not being able to be in the right situation at the right time. So definitely going to draft better at running back next year.
Yeah.
See, like, I had Cook, Mixon, and Carson because I knew, like, running backs would be low. But, like, everybody got hurt.
Yeah. That Mixon, bro, hurt. Because if you would have had just Mixon and
Cook-
Dalvin Cook, you would have been in the mix. Like, even if everybody else is just
and
mediocre.
Ethan had Odell too.
Yeah, no
Oh,
doubt.
man, I forgot about Odell. They playing defense.
Yo, I feel like Odell's gonna be one of them people next year. You don't like people don't even draft. He's going 6th round next year.
Yeah, without a doubt, especially because think about it. All right, let's just name the first 10 wide receivers right now. Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas. This is not in order. It's just so Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs,
You throw Tyler Lockett in there.
Tyler Lockett,
Tyler
DK
Lockett,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. That's 8.
Keenan.
We could
Keenan
throw
Allen.
Keenan in there. Maybe Ridley now that Julio Jones has stepped down a little bit.
We got to see
No.
what happens on the offseason with that, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, maybe?
I mean, based on production fantasy wise, yeah. I don't see not.
So, what are you throwing Odell now? Like 15? Especially coming off the ACL, they're not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If he's on the Browns, I would say even 20.
Oh, we forgot about Allen Robinson. So, that's 11 right there. You can throw in ahead of him Mike Evans. So,
Oh, Godwin. There's so many players.
oh, that's another one, Chris Godwin.
Godwin, yeah. Which I mean, but he was hurt most of
Yeah,
this
that's
year.
what I'm saying. The injury bug, yo, like that injury
Yeah.
bug.
So
But hopefully, we can all be in this playoffs. Ethan, I wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully, your team puts up 300 points and we can all be in the playoffs. If not,
Even then, I hope you two win. You know, I'm not trying to be biased, but I hope you two win.
not trying to be biased, just trying to make sure that it comes home with radical souls.
Thanks.
yeah.
All right, so good luck on this week matchup, Ethan. I still need you to try very hard to beat whatever team. Don't tank.
I'll be Luke.
Yeah, because if
There
you
you
beat
go.
Luke, I slide up, and I need that little slide up to play somebody a little more favorable right now.
There
Because
we
I'm
go.
not trying to face Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes if I lose. All right, guys. We'll be back on, what's today, Thursday? That Wednesday night threw me off. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing the podcast, and then next week starts playoffs, so we'll be definitely deep diving into that next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.